And now, broadcasting live from the Colquitt Center in Roanoke, it's the Alternative Hour. Crank it up, because the Alternative Hour starts right now on WRKE 100.3.
3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Alternative Hour. I am Elijah Willem here with my co-host, Christa. What's up, Christa?
Nothing much. How are you doing, Elijah?
I am great. I am glad to be back. It has been a long time. It has been too long.
It's been a real long time.
We are glad to be back. I don't think the stream is working today. And Christa has still failed at her job of getting the podcast set up yet.
I'm working really hard on it.
She has been, and it's really hard.
I'm really confused.
I'm a computer guru, and I still haven't figured it out.
I'm Googling all the terms right now. I'll figure it out.
But maybe if you're listening to this on podcast later on, look, she found it out. Because we are recording.
We are recording them all.
It's not the best quality, but you know what? It's something.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out eventually. It may be like, we're 25 and, hey guys, check out this podcast.
We still got a number, 3.5 years here?
Exactly.
We'll be fine.
Exactly. Well, we are excited to be back. We got a lot to talk about today. Donald Trump came to Liberty yesterday.
Somebody went to go see him. Guess who it was?
We'll figure that out in a minute. We have cold weather, possibly snow coming up, and the second day of the semester. It's a lot happening right here at Roanoke College. You're listening to the Alternative Hour on WRKE 100.3. Don't turn that dial. We'll be right back in a second.
The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
If this feeling flows both ways, live it like we're renegade. If I could fly, then I would know.
The station with the best music. Best music. WRKE 100.3.
Well, we are WRKE 100.3 LPFM Salem, and maybe streaming live online at WRKE.org, but it does not seem like it right now. Seems like the stream is down, but we will hopefully get it up. I think we'll be switching stream companies soon because apparently ours is actually going out of business.
Yeah, so hopefully our new one will be
more reliable.
Yeah.
Will actually work.
That would be really nice because my parents like to listen from home.
So, anyway, how was your break, Christa?
Oh my God, Elijah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Let me tell you. So, I don't remember last time we left off in my life on the radio, but I had mono. So I had mono during finals. It was stellar. And then I went home and had mono, and I had mono all break. And
hold on one second here. I'm going to interrupt you for just a second.
Okay.
I would like to give a special shout out to the dude right now who is sitting outside.
Is there somebody outside? Oh my God.
You are sitting outside. Dude, it is cold outside. Go inside.
Is he wearing a coat or anything?
Yeah, he's wearing a coat. But oh my gosh.
Why is he outside?
I don't know.
Is he listening at all?
Yeah, he is. He waved at us.
Okay,
there's two people.
Oh
wow.
My goodness, there's two. Well, hey, people sitting outside, you get to hear my break story.
Okay, anyway, continue.
Okay, so I had a horrible break because I had mono. So the only thing that was going to make my life better was the fact my parents were letting me drive my car back to school. So I was going to have my car on campus. We were coming all the way from St. Louis, Missouri, my hometown.
Boo.
Excuse you, great city. So my dad was driving back with me because they didn't want me doing the whole 11, 12 hours by myself. So my dad and I are driving the car, and we get to Moorhead, Kentucky, I think it was, and my car shut down on the highway. It just stopped. So we managed to get over to the shoulder, and we had to call AAA, and it took them an hour and a half to send them a tow truck. So finally, a tow truck shows up, and the guy's name was Jason. So Jason, the tow truck driver, gets our car started again after an hour, and was like, "Yeah, you need to replace something in your something like a I don't even remember what it was now. But there's an auto repair shop 4 miles down the road, so I'll follow you over there. So my dad and I get in our truck, and Jason's following the tow truck, and we can't get above 40 miles an hour. So we're going 40 on the slow lane of the highway while people are passing us at 85, and we make it 2 miles before my truck stops again. So we had to pull back over, and Jason's like, I think something's wrong with your engine. I'm going to have to tow you. So Jason had to tow us 2 miles down the highway to get to the auto repair shop. We made it in 5 minutes before the auto repair shop closed. And they're like, dude, your engine's locked up. Like, and that means your engine's dead. Like, it can't be fixed. So my dad and I are like, well, what the heck are we going to do? So we were going to call Enterprise to come like pick us up and we can get a rental. And Enterprise had closed half an hour before we called. So we had no idea what we were going to do. So we finally found an Enterprise that was 2 hours away at an airport. So it was 24 hours. So we had to call a taxi. So we called a taxi, and Chuck, the taxi driver, was on his way home, but heard about our plight and turned around from home to come pick us up.
Wow.
So go Chuck, the taxi driver.
Chuck.
So I had like my suitcase, like 2 duffels, and then my dad's luggage, and then everything from my car we wanted to take too. So I had 2 boxes of everything I keep in my car. So we loaded all this up into the taxi and drove 2 hours to the airport on top of a mountain that's smaller than Roanoke Airport. And we get a little like, so my dad goes inside to get the car, and I'm sitting outside with all this stuff because Chuck wanted to like go home. So I'm sitting outside with everything, and I felt like I was like displaced or something. And I had my baseball bat with me, and I was on the phone with my mom crying about my truck. And finally my dad came out, and we got this like little hybrid. So we loaded up the little hybrid, and we're going through West Virginia, like through the mountains on 64. And my dad and I both, our phones start going off, and we had a snow warning. We were supposed to get severe snowfall. So my dad and I are freaking out because we don't think this little hybrid is going to survive on the mountain highway in West Virginia. I don't know if we beat the snow or if the snow never came, but we managed to get out of West Virginia. So we finally get here to Roanoke, and we had to go to Walmart to get a bunch of stuff. So we made it into Walmart at like 2 a.m. or something, and then we had to go to Campo to make sure we could park the car on campus. And so we finally get to my dorm. My dad helps me like unpack everything, and he is staying the night in my dorm room because my roommate's not back yet. I was here early, so he's in my bed and I'm sleeping on my floor. And so he wakes up the next morning, wakes me up. I tried to get on my bed. I fell out of my bed because I was too tired. He had to like throw me on top of my bed, and then he had to drive 3 hours to some airport north of here, and then to drop the car off and then go to the airport. So he goes to drop the car off at the airport, and they're like, oh no, the Enterprise is 3 miles down the road. So he had to leave the airport, go to drop the Enterprise car off, and he couldn't like walk there because it was along the highway. So then he had to get another taxi to go to the airport to wait to get his flight to Atlanta to get his flight back to St. Louis.
Wow. If you're confused right now, listeners, you are not alone.
That was my...
So where's your truck right now?
It's in Moorhead, Kentucky.
Your truck is in Moorhead, Kentucky.
Without an engine. And they're supposed to put a new engine in like 2 weeks, but my dad and I don't know how we're going to go get it.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting break.
Yeah, so that was my break. How's your break, Elijah?
I had a very interesting day yesterday. Well, first my uncle died, which is not good.
Yes.
And I had a very interesting day yesterday, too. We'll talk about it in a minute. I promise we won't leave you in too much more suspense. But for now, here's another song. You're listening to the Alternative Hour on WRKE
100.3.
That was Mountain at My Gates on WRKE 100.3. I'd like to start off by apologizing here. The blinds kept me from seeing an entire extra group of people outside. There are 2 tables of people outside right now.
Freezing.
So just in case you were wondering, if you're inside your dorm or something right now, the temperature is 21 degrees.
And they're sitting outside eating.
And the wind chill is 9 degrees.
Yeah.
We have a wind chill advisory right now in effect for this area. 9-degree wind chill, 21 degrees, and there are people outside eating. I mean, props to you.
Yes.
I couldn't do that. Props to you. But
we have a song request from outside, too.
We have a song request from outside?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that in a minute.
Okay.
But what happened with the weather? Last time we were here, it was our Christmas episode, and I was wearing shorts.
I was in Chacos.
What happened? It was like someone flipped the switch from summer to winter. I don't know.
Exactly.
And now they're calling for a pounding of snow on Friday, which we'll talk about very soon because it's a little scary.
Especially for you and the other
especially for commuters.
Yeah.
My fellow commuters. It's going to be maybe a rough weekend. A foot or more of snow. And it's only January. We still have another month of this crap.
I want a refund.
You want a refund from what?
The weather.
From the weather. Did you pay the weather?
If I had known if I paid the weather it would change, I would totally do that.
Ripping off Mother Nature. I guess Mother Nature's ripping you off because you didn't get what you wanted.
I know.
All right,
she would make bank if like people would pay for the weather.
That would be nice. That would be really nice.
Yeah.
Although I'd have no money left, and still nothing would go the way I want it to because I don't have enough money to
keep your weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone
just move somewhere tropical.
Someone I don't know, Donald Trump may come and take what I want.
Just wondering you were gonna bring him up.
And tropical wouldn't be good either. I like 65. 65
I'm okay
and a
with
slight
that.
breeze.
Yes, I like the slight breeze when it's sunny to keep you kind of cool.
Exactly.
The light jacket that you can take off when you do outdoor activities.
Exactly. All right, well, once again, it is 21 degrees right now. Feels like 9. More weather coming up. More news, more talk, more Trump. You're listening to The Alternative Hour on WRKE 100.3. That was Panic at the Disco's new song, Emperor's New Clothes, on the Alternative Hour, WRKE 100.3. So besides classes starting up, there are other important things happening at Roanoke College right now.
Yes, there are.
Obviously, the most important thing is that the Alternative Hour is back.
Oh, that's the number one on campus.
But if you're listening right now, you already knew that.
Exactly.
Let's talk some other things. The American Shakespeare Center will be performing The Importance of Being Earnest tomorrow night at 7:30 in the Olin Hall Theater. That's tomorrow night, 7:30. I may be there, depending on the weather. We're supposed to get snow on Wednesday, too.
Oh, great. Well, I'll be there. I live on campus.
Yeah, exactly. American Shakespeare Center, The Importance of Being Earnest tomorrow night at 7:30.
And then at the Olin Gallery, we have Jenny Rowland, and From the Page to the Stage, which opens Friday at 6 p.m. She is the costume designer here at Roanoke. They're all amazing. I've peeked into the gallery, and you should definitely head out there.
Yeah, it's really pretty, and it's coming from someone who doesn't really like things like that. Which, I really try.
Yeah, I get that, though.
It's kind of like coffee. I want to like it, but I'm just not there yet.
It's like I want to like modern art.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about.
I try, and I can't.
I can't yet. Maybe one day. I never thought I liked dressing up, but now I do. So maybe one day.
I still don't.
Yeah. Why is that not surprising? All right. Well, patio people, we heard your request, and it's coming next. But first, here's another new one from Tame Impala, The Less I Know the Better. You're listening to The Alternative Hour on WRKE 100.3. Now it's time for news and weather on the Alternative Hour. Decisions on immigration. The Supreme Court said today that it would consider a legal challenge to President Obama's overhaul of the nation's immigration rules. Mr. Obama created a program intended to shield up to 5 million illegal immigrants from deportation and to provide them with work permits. The program has been blocked by a federal court.
In 2 weeks in Iowa, many of the presidential candidates are fawning across the state's 90 counties today in preparation for the February 1st caucuses there. But national issues have displaced the more local matters that once shaped early primary contests. Hillary Clinton positioned herself during the Sunday's debate as the candidate most capable of advancing President Obama's policies, while Bernie Sanders took on former Secretary Clinton's more forcefully. The Clinton campaign is preparing for a nomination fight that could stretch into late April or early May. While the British Parliament debated whether to ban Donald Trump, he was trying to sway evangelists. And we profile Heidi Nelson Cruz, who took a leave of absence from Goldman Sachs to court wealthy donors for her husband, Ted Cruz.
And U.S.-Iran relations, the landmark nuclear deal agreement between Iran and global powers, is now in effect. Long-standing sanctions have been lifted, and the regional landscape is being being reshaped. But President Obama imposed modest new sanctions for banned nuclear tests. And with 3 Americans long held in Iran returned to the United States, including a Washington Post reporter, Mr. Obama urged young Iranians to pursue a new path with the West. 7 Iranians are part of the prisoner swap between the estranged nations. And 4 NFL teams are still in the hopes for the Super Bowl. The Denver Broncos will take on the New England Patriots, as well as the Carolina Panthers will take on the Arizona Cardinals this Sunday to try to make it to the Super Bowl. And for the weather, it is cold as not radio appropriate words. Currently it's
real cold.
Currently it's 22 and it feels like 9 degrees. Coming up, today's high is 26. Wednesday's possible snow, high of 38, low of 24. Thursday, partly cloudy, 46. Friday and Saturday, snowy. We'll talk about more of that in just a little bit, but highs in the lower 30s to upper 20s. This has been your news and weather update on the Alternative Hour, WRKE 100.3. That is Adventure of a Lifetime, a new one from Coldplay, who will be doing the Super Bowl halftime show this year, which is exciting because normally it's like Katy Perry and...
it was Beyonce before that.
Madonna, so. People.
Oh, yeah,
but
the Madonna one.
Coldplay will be a really good show. And it's going to be a good Super Bowl. Hopefully the Panthers will be in it. Carolina representing this area. I actually went to see them over winter break. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool live. I mean, I had a terrible seat, but it was cool. It was.
I've never been to a professional football game.
That was my first. Well, actually, I take that back. I had been in when I was 2. So I mean, technically, I had been, but I didn't have any recollection of it whatsoever, so it didn't really count.
All we had was the Rams, and they're not even in St. Louis
and they're moving now.
So
and they're moving.
Whatever.
No one likes St. Louis, even the Rams. Oh, burn.
I think it's the St. Louis doesn't like the Rams. Is how it works.
Well, also, we're going to toot our own horn for a second, because that was the first time we've ever done news live. We always pre-record it, and that actually didn't go terribly wrong.
Yeah, it went pretty well.
We didn't stumble too much. But there's this one guy in Ireland who, there's just specifically one word he can't say. And that happens to be specifically. He cannot master the pronunciation no matter how many times he tried.
And there's a video that was posted.
The man named only as Tommy struggles to articulate the 12-letter word in a footage that a friend filmed. We cannot play it on the air because there are several F-bombs in it. But it's pretty funny. It's gotten more than 1.2 million views already. But he should not feel too bad because specific is labeled the second hardest word in the English language to pronounce.
Yes.
The first hardest word I cannot pronounce myself, so Krista's gonna try it.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
Yeah, it's a town in England.
Well, it is
I have friends that live near there.
The most difficult word to pronounce, with number 3 being squirrel.
That's a hard one.
Then brewery.
Brewery.
And phenomenon.
Phenomenon.
I think that one's kind of fun to say.
I love that one.
I think that one's kind of fun to say. Phenomenon.
But I watched a lot of sci-fi shows as a kid, so that was always in all my sci-fi shows. Phenomenon.
The study's list of most common mispronunciations included prescription and espresso, as well as several location names.
Locations are always the hardest, I think, at least.
So I don't know if I said that right. But there's also someone else who kind of stumbled over his words yesterday, and that is our main man, Donald Trump. We're going to talk about that. Man. We're going to talk about that as soon as this song is over. Here is Cage the Elephant and Back Against the Wall. You're listening to the Alternative Hour on WRKE 100.3. It is the moment we have all been waiting for. Donald Trump.
No, before that, I have something more important than Donald Trump.
There's nothing more important than Donald Trump.
Yes, it is. And it's a text I just received from a friend of mine named Lindsay. You know her. And she said...
she has a show on Sundays.
Yes.
At some time.
And she just texted me, and she said my voice sounds really sexy on the radio. So if you think that I sound really sexy on the radio, you can tweet us, you can text me, you can call me, you can, like, Instagram me, you can Facebook message me, you could page me, you can give me a shout-out as I'm walking to my class on campus, you can come to my class, you can send me a letter in the mail, you can send my advisor an email, she forwarded it to me, you could sit outside the radio booth and, like, yell that up to me. You can come visit me during any of my meetings or my trainings. If I'm giving a tour, like, later, you can like stop me and tell me that too. You can send me secret messages and, like, flowers. You can leave a trail of, like, to me to find you, and I'll follow it with, like, clues and hints and stuff. You can stand outside my dorm room with a boom box and like play a song for me. You can, like, do any of that.
Are you done now?
Yeah, any of that.
Or you can sit outside in the 5-degree weather on the patio, because that gets our attention, apparently.
It does. If you yell up to us, we'll pop our heads out and say hi.
Anyway, Donald Trump. I
guess we can talk about him now.
So he was at Liberty yesterday, and he made a bit of a fool out of himself.
What's new?
Yeah, that's very true. So at a Christian college, he doesn't know their Bible verse. Take a listen to this.
2 Corinthians, right? 2 Corinthians 3:17. That's the whole ball game. Where the Spirit of the Lord, right? Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. And here there is Liberty College, but Liberty University. But it is so true. You know, when you think, and that's really... Is that the one? Is that the one you like? I think that's the one you like, because I loved it. And it's so representative of what's taken place.
I don't even think he made any sense.
He clearly... Let's just go to really.
Really, Donald Trump, you're trying a Bible quote at a Christian school?
Like, really? Do you really think they're not going to be able to see through that? Like, that's their verse that this whole school is about. Like, really?
Really, Donald Trump, you thought it would be a good idea to, like, try to connect with them, but then actually not put any effort into it?
Like, really? You couldn't have read it first, so you know, or you couldn't have researched a little bit to make sure that was the one? Because he wasn't even sure if that was the right one. He had to ask the audience if that was the right verse that he was supposed to be saying.
Really, Donald Trump, you don't know enough that you have to stop in the middle of it to wait for, to, like, ask for applause because you're that confused.
And
really?
You have to look down at your paper to read it? Like, really?
Really?
Really.
Oh, really?
And I would know how bad this was because I was there.
He was. Elijah was there.
We'll talk about that in a second. You're listening to the Alternative Hour on WRKE 100.3. So yes, it is true. I went yesterday to see Donald Trump.
You went and actually saw the little troll.
I did.
The plastic troll.
And I actually saw him in person. Like,
yes.
I talked to him.
You got a selfie with him.
I got a selfie with him. And
I thought it was a wax figure when he texted that to me.
Yeah, no, it was... Yeah.
Oh my God.
I have to say, in his defense, which I don't say that very often, but in his defense, his hair does not look quite as bad in person as it does on TV and in pictures. It doesn't look good, but it doesn't look not half. It doesn't look quite as bad.
Yeah, is it kind of like when they purposely choose like really bad pictures of like Hillary Clinton too?
Yeah, like it's not. Like, I mean,
or they get Bernie when his hair is like all sticking up.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I saw him in public and didn't know who he was, like his hair isn't the first thing I like pick out about him.
I would pick out. His face looks kind of plastic.
Yeah.
At least in that picture you sent me. I thought it was a wax figure.
It's because he probably is. He's got like a lot of money. He can do whatever he wants to.
I didn't even think about that. It might actually be.
Yeah. But in my defense.
Yes, in your defense.
I also went to see Obama, and I couldn't disagree with him more. But I saw him when he came to Roanoke when he was campaigning in 2008, just because, like, I was pretty sure he was going to be president.
Yeah,
and I wanted to see history. And I almost shook his hand, and then some big fat guy pushed me out of the way.
Oh, gross. The only person I've seen is my parents took me to a Republican rally back in St. Louis when it was McCain and Palin.
I saw Palin. We went to see him at the Salem football stadium, but we were like really far away, so then we knew where their motorcade was going, so we like hunted down their motorcade. Okay,
so while I agree that Sarah Palin has no idea what she's talking about half the time, she was the only one out of like the 12 or 13 Republicans that were speaking that said Missouri correctly.
Uh-huh.
Everybody else said Missouri.
She kind of looks like my mom. That's the one thing I think about when I see her.
That would make me really uncomfortable.
And Tina Fey does a really good impression.
Oh my god.
I love Tina
Amazing.
Fey. So yes, I went to see Donald Trump. It was interesting. I mean, there was nothing surprising. He says the exact same thing everywhere he goes, which, I mean,
so like nothing new.
Probably all the candidates do, though, honestly. I just don't keep up and track with them a lot. But he is still leading in the polls pretty good. You may have to accept the fact, Krista, that he's going to be the Republican nominee, and then maybe...
I told my parents that if he gets elected, I'm moving in with my friend Anna in Holland.
Well...
So I'll have to do the radio show from there.
Call her up.
Oh, she already knows.
I know. Get ready. Call her up.
She has a spot for me and her in the attic.
In the attic.
Yeah.
Is Trump that bad?
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what England's going to do, if they're actually going to ban him or not.
I would laugh so hard.
It'll be.
I would die. Can you ban a person from a country?
Yeah, you can. They've done it before, apparently, because things that people have said.
Oh, is it? Oh, because it like... Is it because the Church of England's connected to the state?
I don't know. They said...
So, like, if the Pope... Like, he could excommunicate somebody, then they would be excommunicated from Vatican City?
I don't know.
Is it kind of like that?
They said that going to London was a privilege, and it could be taken away. It was a privilege.
Like
not
London
right.
City or
no,
London?
England, I mean.
Okay. Because London City is a city within London.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so we've got one more song for you. Then we're going to talk about the weather to wrap up the show. You're listening to the Alternative Hour on WRKE 100.3.
Our cold weather continues this afternoon. The wind chill advisories, they expire at noon. Good news there. Seeing hazy sunshine across the area. Relatively quiet day, but you definitely want to bundle up as you're heading out this afternoon. No real problems. I know everyone's talking about the system on Friday, but first we have to get through some snow showers Wednesday afternoon. We're talking 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock Wednesday evening. We may see a burst of snow as a clipper system comes through, and since it's been so cold, it will stick to the road, so we could have some slick spots. Not looking at a lot of snow, maybe a coating here or there, a little bit more in the mountains, as much as an inch in isolated spots, but still, like I mentioned, the ground is cold, so it will stick. Watch out for slick conditions Wednesday evening, and then our attention can go on to Friday. We have a storm system heading out of the Midwest, going to become a coastal system right up the eastern seaboard. Plenty of cold air in place, but as it moves through, it may drag just enough warmer air in that we could see a period of sleet or even some freezing rain in places, holding down total accumulations a bit, but as it moves off toward the north and east, going to drag in more air, so we could see another burst of some heavier snow later Friday into Saturday. We'll monitor that. It's going to start to get some upper air data in the system as it is just now making landfall on the west coast, so the next 24 hours we'll really be able to refine the forecast. 7-day plan again, impact day today because of the Arctic blast. Wednesday, snow showers in the afternoon. Keep that in mind, and then a major winter storm possible as we head toward Friday and Saturday.
All right, so I just wanted to give you that quick update. That was from WDBJ7. That there was some definite weather possibilities.
Definitely.
That could be very bad. So keep on the news. Even if you live on campus, it's still important to you. Keep on the news. That is the end of our show for today. I want to thank Krista, as always, for being here. Thank you to Dale Alexander for our beautiful intro.
Yes, gorgeous.
Oh, yes. I made it, but he's the voice, so thank you to him.
I didn't do anything.
No, you didn't. You failed with the podcasts.
I'm working so hard.
Thank you to the
patio listeners.
They left. They had been here the entire show and they just left.
Except I think our one of our friends is outside right now.
Who cares about her? Just kidding.
I care about her. Hi, Lindsay.
It's cold. Go inside.
Yes, be warm. You have a class at 1:10.
Don't get mono. I do too. Don't get mono like Krista.
No, don't.
All right, everybody. On Thursday, we will be back at noon. Krista is running the show. Bum. Just kidding. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Beautiful. It'll be great.
Oh, yes. We'll be back on Thursday at noon. Until then, as always, we'll leave you with one for the road. I'm Elijah Wilhelm.
And I'm Krista Waterwhite.
We'll see ya. Have a good day.
One